Good afternoon. My name is Eri with my friend Rifki, but he didn't attend it because he was busy. So I'm going to present it about non-verbal communication by myself. Non-verbal communication means conveying information without using words. This might involve using certain facial expression or hand gestures to make a specific point, or it could be involve the user or non-use of eye contact, physical proximity, and other nonverbal cues to get a message across. Charles Darwin has identified 9 types of nonverbal communication. These nonverbal communication types are facial expression, gesture, paralinguistic, body language, uh, proxemic or personal space, eye gaze, haptics, appearance, and artifact. Facial expression are responsible for a huge proportion of nonverbal communication. Consider how much information can be conveyed with a smile or a frown. The look on a person's face is often the first thing we see, even before hearing what they say. Sometimes a raised brow or slight smirk can say more than a word conversation. While non-verbal communication and behavior can vary dramatically between cultures, the facial expression for happiness, sadness, anger, and fear are similar worldwide. Gesture. Deliberate movements and signals are an important way to communicate meaning without words. Common gestures include waving, painting, and giving a thumbs up sign. Other gestures are arbitrary and related to culture. Nonverbal communication via gestures is so powerful and influential that some judges place limits on which ones are allowed in the courtroom, where they can sway juror opinions. An attorney might glance at their watch to suggest that the opposing lawyer's argument is fallacious, for instance, or they may roll the eye during a witness testimony in an attempt to undermine that person's credibility. Paralinguistic refers to vocal communication that is separate from actual language. This form of nonverbal communication includes factors such as tone of voice, loudness, inflection, and pitch. For example, consider the powerful effect that tone of voice can have on the meaning of a sentence. When said in a strong tone voice, listener might interpret a statement as approval and enthusiasm. The same word said in a hesitant tone can convey disapproval and a lack of interest. Body language and posture. Posture and movement can also provide a great deal of information. Research on body language has grown significantly since the 1970s, with popular media focusing on the overinterpretation of defensive postures, such as arm crossing and leg crossing, especially after the publication of Julius Fast's book Body Language. While this nonverbal communication can indicate feeling and attitudes, body language is often subtle and less definitive than previously believed. Proxemic. It's a way of nonverbally communication how comfortable we feel with others and how close we are willing to let them get. The amount of distance we need and the amount of space we perceive as belonging to us are influenced by several factors. Among them are social norms, cultural expectations, situational factors, personality characteristic, and level of familiarity. Eye gaze. The eyes play a role in nonverbal communication, which such things as looking, staring, and blinking being important cues. For example, when you encounter people or think that you like, your rate of blinking increases and your pupils dilate. People's eye can indicate a range of emotion, including hostility, interest, and attraction. People also utilize eye gaze cues to gauge a person honestly. Normal state eye contact is often taken as a sign that a person is telling the truth and is trustworthy. Safety eye and inability to maintain eye contact on the other hand is frequently seen as an indicator that someone is lying or being deceptive. Haptic communicating through touch is another important nonverbal communication behavior. Touch can be used to communicate affection, familiarity, sympathy, and other emotion. In her book Interpersonal Communication: Everyday Encounter, author Julia Woods writes that touch is also often used to communicate both status and power. High-status individuals tend to invade other people's personal space with greater frequency and intensity than lower-status individuals. Appearance can also alter psychological reaction, judgment, and interpretation. Just think of all the subtle judgment you quickly make about someone based on their appearance. These first impressions are important, which is why experts suggest that job seekers dress appropriately for interview with potential employers. Artifact objects and images are also tools that can be used to communicate non-verbally. On an online forum, for example, you might select an avatar to represent your identity and to communicate information about who you are and the things you like. People often spend a great deal of time developing a particular image and surrounding themselves with objects designed to convey information about the things that are important to them. Uniform, for example, can be used to transmit a tremendous amount of information about a person. And this is the example of nonverbal communication. At home, a bright, happy tone voice would suggest that they are doing quite well. A cold tone of voice might suggest that they are not fine, but don't wish to discuss it. A somber, downcast tone might indicate that they are opposite to fine but may want to talk about why. Other example of nonverbal communication at home include going to your partner swiftly when they call for you, as opposite to taking your time or not responding at all. Greeting your child with a smile when they walk into the room to show that you're happy to see them. Leaning in when you laugh, one speak to show that you are listening and that you are interested in what they say. And shoving your fist into the air when you're upset that something isn't working. At workplace, you can also find nonverbal communication in the workplace. Examples of this include looking coworkers in the eye when speaking with them to be fully engaged in the interaction, throwing your hand in the air when you are frustrated with a project, using excitement in your voice when leading work meeting to project your passion for a specific topic, and walking down the hall with your head held high to convey confidence in your abilities. And the last, in other situations, here are a few additional examples of nonverbal communication that say a lot without you having to say anything at all. Greeting an old friend at a restaurant with a huge handshake or fist bump. Placing your hand on someone's arms when they are talking to you at a party to convey friendliness or concern. Rolling your eyes at someone who is chatting excessively with a store clerk as a line begins to form, and scowling at someone who has cut you off in traffic, or flipping them the bird. So that's all our presentation. I'm sorry if there are any misunderstanding words that I have to say and misattending my friend to present our video. Thank you.